I got a lot of games. In fact, I'm running out of room. But you know what's crazy? Out of all these games, we actually don't have that many crime games. Like, sure, we got stuff like Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, Vice City, and 3, and then Grand Theft Auto 4. But that was sort of different. I'm talking more about organized crime, like mafia. The sort of crime that I like. In fact, I love these games so much, even though Godfather 2 isn't that great, that I even am working on the first video, on the first game, and it's taken forever because I just want to talk so much about it. There's not that many games on here, but you know what? I think I have one I've never played before and it might be kind of good. It's called Mob Enforcer, and I don't really know anything about it. I kind of forgot it's there. I guess it was because it's sandwiched between two amazing games, and the I Love My Girlfriend sticker is sort of blocking it, so maybe that's why I sort of forgot about it. But you know, maybe it's because it's just one of those forgotten gems. Like I'll be talking about one in the next video. Maybe it won't be a half decent game. I jinxed the whole thing. ValueSoft is responsible for this, so we know it's garbage. Before you correct me, yes, I know that ValueSoft did not develop games. In fact, they just were the distributor for it. But the fact is, they put their name all over this box, which means they had a major hand in it. The developer is very small on the back.
And you can't even see what it says. Like, can you tell me what that says? It wasn't until Wikipedia's page that I saw that it's Touchdown Entertainment, a company that doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. And also, there is a Chicago Enforcer, which says that it's only on Xbox, but from what I read, the only difference between the PC version and the console version is the title and some graphical changes.
I know a lot of people say you shouldn't judge a game based on its developer, as developers sometimes make good games, and even ValueSoft is responsible for some good games. Maybe, I'm not really sure. But I can tell you what ruins it. As soon as you open it up and the game is being talked about, you see a thing that says Pistol Persuasion. Prove your loyalty to the boss. When your own's about to break the cone of silence, grab your Tommy gun and make him see it your way. Pistol Persuasion? Shows a picture of a pistol. Now it's talking about the Tommy gun? Did they proofread this? I will say I like how the back is a newspaper. That speaks kind of true to me, considering I'm a journalism major, and I'd actually like to write for newspapers if, they wasn't dying. But the thing that kills me on the back with this is it says, prove your loyalty to the boss through 10 lead-riddled levels. There's only 10 levels? Man, they better be longer. This is one short game. Well, I got this factory sealed for $2, which makes me believe that it's not going to be anything. There's no shrink wrap around it. It's only sealed by some tape on the top there. So I'm going to get a knife and we'll cut this thing open and see if it has anything besides a jewel case in it. Alright, so let's see what we got in here. My guess is it's just going to be a jewel case. What the? What is this? What is this, like, protective stuff here? How am I supposed to get the game out? Okay, jokes aside, I'm not really sure exactly how you get this out. I've seen this before, but it was with games that were made from floppy disks. I've actually never seen this done for a jewel case. I'm honestly not really sure how to pull that out. Alright, so I tore the thing apart, but as you can see... Oh, for the love of God. It has the install instructions, but no cover to the game. It's wrapped in plastic, but there's no cover. It's just install instructions. It ain't like... That doesn't repeat the cover of the box. What kind of low-budget trash is this?
The install screen shows us a nice, scary, spooky backdrop of Chicago. Didn't know this was a horror game. But while we're here, waiting for the game to do its thing, it's time to talk about some things. Some key details. One, the game was developed by Russians. Now, this fact will be discussed more in a later video, but just keep that in the back of your head. This is a low-budget game by Russians. And it's about Chicago Mafia. So Russians making a game about Chicago. Now, this makes a little bit sense. I'm not, there's developers that make games about subject matter in other countries. This is, nothing different. But it is kind of funny to think about. And also, this game was being released in North America, so Russians were probably trying to access a larger crowd. However, I wouldn't mind a game based on the Russian Mafia. I've read that they've done some intense things over there. Lastly, it came out in 2004, the same year as Far Cry, Half-Life 2, and Halo 2. That's insane competition to go up against. On the launcher, you can see the developer logo, but even zoomed in, can you tell what that says? I can't tell what it says. What I will say, what I like about this game already is that you can customize your crosshair. I wish more games would do this. It's kind of nice, and you can even customize the color. That's a good thing. While the main menu and load screen's looking pretty generic, I'm not gonna lie. The opening cutscene had me convinced that I was playing a good game.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know where I can find a good chop house?
Try Nick's on Lakeshore.
I'll do that. Name's Joe Tessio. Mr. Capone asked me to help you learn the ropes. So, you're a fighter?
I was.
Well, it never hurts to...
It goes on a little bit while longer, but my point being that while nothing on the screen is happening that's super impressive, the voice acting is kind of good. It sort of captures 1920s America, because this takes place during the Prohibition, and I was thinking to myself that this might be a game well made. So what could go wrong? You come to your first alleyway and you get bombarded by a ton of enemies. Now, I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect to get immediately shot at. It's like I crossed into the wrong town. One guy killing a million. And this seems pretty generic until you keep finding enemies and you realize that no matter what you do, they run at you. The enemies run straight towards you. They don't try to take cover. They don't try to get out of the way. They run to a predefined spot and they fire. Poor AI makes the game boring. And when you're not running around clearing every single alleyway that looks the same as the one before it, you're just looking for where you're supposed to go. And look at this world. I mean, oh, by the way, there's a cop over there, but we'll talk about him in a second. This world just seems empty. There's no cars. There's no civilians. The draw distance is pretty bad. I don't know why they had to make an open world game. If they had a limited budget, why didn't they just go with the more linear style, going straight forward? Because this world feels so empty and unrealistic. And again, as you can see, I'm shooting some more enemies down a familiar alleyway as they run straight towards me. Great game design. The funniest thing, though, is when you kill people on stairs. So after I shoot these guys 100 million times, you'll notice that they start falling down the staircase, which is a nice detail. You don't really see that much in games, but it just doesn't look right, and they move at an incredibly slow rate. And when they get to the very bottom, they phase through the stair and they disappear. I will commend them for trying, but it's more laughable than anything else. Well, again, I finally found the place where I'm supposed to go, and they're asking for a password. And then I'm showing a brief cutscene where there's something in a dumpster. It looks like cigars, and apparently the password's on that. Well, all I have to go on is that giant clock, but where could that be? This map is a lot bigger than you think it is. Oh, and guess what? Anytime you complete an objective, enemies respawn. So, yeah. And see that civilian? Watch out. You'll fail a mission if you kill him. So here I am just wandering around this empty world, just trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. Does this look like fun to you? I mean, it would be really cool to live in this noir area and have to search around and find your enemies, but other games sort of do it better. And if you complain like I do about having to drive everywhere in an open world game, imagine walking at a snail's pace. This is as quick as you move, and you might have to backtrack if you pick the wrong location. But I'll tell you one thing, you will most certainly have to backtrack, because when you finally find where you're supposed to go, you go up here, there's the cigars I've been looking for, and guess what? You have to go back to where you just were. And it's really far away. It's on a completely other side of the map. Oh yeah, and guess what? Enemies respawn, so I had to kill one guy. And, just this game has already got me annoyed. But anyway, I found the place to go. The dude's talking. I give him the password, and he says I can come in, but there's no one standing there. Who was talking? Well, there's nothing in this speakeasy to speak of. I even walked around just to make sure there was no one else standing. There's no bartender, and there's no people in the seats, and the guy that I'm supposed to come to interrogate just acts like, oh, hey, man, what's up? Oh, I'm getting shot in the back. Or he's missing until I pull out my gun, then he hits me. And while I murder this guy, old Mitt here decides, oh, I'm just going to have a lovely stroll to the front of the place. He's not even flipping out at all this violence. Then he gets to a predefined spot and flips out. So yeah, can you hear the anger in my voice? Well, I didn't really know what to do here, how to get information out of him, so I shot him in the gut and it says, enter the Lucky Motel. Well, before I even figure out where that is, there's some weird detail in this game. If you shoot him, his hat flies off. And if you shoot him a couple more times, his glasses fly off. That's a weird bit of detail to include in this game. I feel like that manpower could have been spent elsewhere. I reloaded the save just in case I softlocked the game by killing him. So after wandering around, I found the Lucky Motel, but the really horrible part about it is that you just can't go through the front door. No! You have to go around back! And you see how it says civilian when I roll over that guy, and up here it's going to say police when the crosshair looks at him? That reminds me of Call of Duty. I mean, I don't think Call of Duty was the first ones to do it, but anytime I see that, I just think of that. Or Battlefield. So you see this familiar looking alleyway. It's a different one, I assure you. They just copy and pasted the alleyways like Bethesda did the dungeons in Oblivion. But that the guy rolling down the stairs just made me lose my train of thought. Well, once you fight your way in the hotel, you begin Episode 1, Chapter 2. And now this is where I'm confused. The back of the box says there's 10 levels. Does that mean there's 10 episodes or 10 chapters? God if I know, and I don't want to find out. But anyway, now you can see the shotgun. Now this level is something more you would expect. You're going up through floors in a hotel, clearing out some rooms, killing some thugs. But sadly, this is where the flawed game design shines even more, as the enemies run straight at you, just allowing you to pump them with a shotgun with no problem. They don't try to get cover, they don't duck, they don't go prone, they don't do nothing. They just run straight. So now I'm killing people, looking through all the rooms, searching for, I don't know what, I'm just looking. I'm thinking if I can open these doors and surely it'd be something in here, but there isn't. I think I found like a shotgun shell in one of them. But anyway, I get to a point where this door is locked. I can't go any higher, so I'm thinking, well, I guess I missed the key somewhere. Down in the lobby, there's a manager's office behind a cage, and he has keys on the desk, but the door behind him is locked. I can't get in there. I kill the guy, but it would make the game reset. It's game over, so I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. How do I get in there? So I ran to YouTube, and yeah, more people have played this. There's a Russian guy playing the game, and when he gets to the door, some text pops up on the screen and enemies respawn. And then he gets back downstairs, and the manager's office is open for him to grab the key. That didn't happen for me. What the heck? Guess the game bugged out. Anyway, the worst part about this game is the cops. And I said I was going to wait to talk about them because it's absolutely ridiculous. So if a cop sees you with the gun, you don't really have much time to react. So see right here, I'm putting my gun away, and as I'm walking up to him, he whips out his gun, apprehended. Awesome. So then I decided to lead some thugs toward him to see if I can't get some help killing some people. And he just stands there. He's doing nothing. I'm getting shot at. They're shooting at him, towards him. And they do absolutely nothing. This cop is just like, whatever, I ain't going to do anything. So I decided, well, I got to defend myself, pull out my gun, and he shoots and kills me. This game sucks. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I sure did not enjoy making it. I'm going to give this a good hard thumbs down. And this is a good point to bring up. This is the last video to use the thumbs up, thumbs down system. After this, I'll be going to a 100-point scale. Here soon on the website, I'll be posting an article about that. So you can read all about it and how I'm going to give a score out of 100. But I feel like that'll be more detailed and better than just giving a thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know. I liked it at first, but I don't like it anymore. If you want me to stick with that system, and there's a lot of people who say that's better than a 100-point scale, let me know and I might change my mind. Other than that, enjoy the fact that you don't have to play this game. This game is terrible. And in the next video is a game that someone requested I do on Instagram. And that is a good segue to remind you that I'm pretty active on Instagram. In fact, it's probably where I post the most. That's a lie. I post the most there. I make a post at least once a day, sometimes more. I also talk to people on there, and you can see my finds because I'm buying games left and right. There's also a good place to communicate with me if you don't want to use Discord. So it's just at CD-ROM Fossil. Plain and simple. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and one final thing. I'm now posting videos on Vimeo.com. That's Vimeo.com. And it's just a little bit of experiment. I'm not going to abandon YouTube or anything. I'm just going to check it out. Anyway, I'm sick of looking at this game, so I'm going to play something a little bit better, but stick around because the next video is also going to be a rushing game, but a little bit of a breath of fresh air, as it's kind of good actually. Whew! I'm going to go lay down.